How much passive income did I receive this month? And how much will I have to pay the taxman's claw? In this video, I'll show how much I received from both share dividends and premium bond prizes in March. And if you stay to the end, I'll reveal the 3 companies I've been putting more money into this month. And I'll also show how my portfolio has performed so far this year. This is not investment advice, and I'm just showing you my own journey. On the 31st of March, an exchange-traded fund paid me some cash. This one has a ticker code ISF and it tracks the FTSE 100. It's up 4.6% in 2026. It pays out 4 times a year and the annual yield is 3.1%. Owning this ETF is a bit like owning every single company in the FTSE 100, which is made up of the UK's largest listed companies. Here are the major ones you would own. It's weighted by market capitalisation, so nearly 9% of this ETF would be an HSBC, which is the largest UK company. The ongoing charge is tiny at just 0.07%. This screen shows how the dividends in pence per share has changed from year to year. This month, ISF paid out a total of £180. On the same day, another of my ETFs paid out. This one has the ticker code IUSA, and it's a bit like owning all of the companies in the S&P 500. It's down slightly this year, and it's another quarterly payer. The yield is currently 1% spread over 4 payments a year. Here are some of those big American giants you would own in this ETF. Again, it's weighted by capitalisation, so although you would have some exposure to all 500 of America's biggest companies, over 7.3% would be in Nvidia and 6.6% would be in Apple. This month, IUSA paid out a total of £185. If you are enjoying this video, then please hit the like button as it really helps out the channel. Also, at the end of the month, I received some cash from Imperial Brands. The shares are down a touch so far this year. It's another quarterly payer with a decent annual yield of 5.2%. Since 2020, the dividends per share have been growing. It's usually a good sign if a company can afford to raise the dividends each year over the long-term horizon. This month, Imperial Brands paid out a total of £185. On the 30th, I received a present from Shell. The shares have had a good year so far, up 27% due to increased demand and a limited supply of oil. The yield is 3.1% spread over 4 payments. Dividends per share are showing an upward trend, but have stabilised over the last year or so. This month, Shell paid out a total of £350. On the 23rd, I received a bundle of cash from AstraZeneca. Whatever the state of the economy, people need medicines. The shares are up 3.5% so far this year. The company pays a fairly small dividend of 2.2% spread over 2 payments a year. Dividends have been fairly stable in recent years. This month, AstraZeneca paid out a total of £365. On the 27th, it was the turn of BP to reward its shareholders. Just like Shell, the company has benefited from surging oil prices and the shares are up 34% this year. The dividend yield is decent at 4.1%. The oil sector can be extremely volatile, but over the last 5 years or so, its dividend payments have been rising. This month, BP paid out a total of £430. Right at the end of the month, Barclays paid out a giant dividend. The shares have had a bad run, however, down nearly 15% at the time of this video. The yield is 2.1% spread over 2 payments. Barclays was the very first share I ever bought way back in 2009, and I've held them ever since. Just like mining, the banking sector can be extremely volatile, but the dividend has been increasing slightly over the last 5 years. This month, Barclays paid out a total of £465. Why not start your own dividend investing portfolio like I have and open a stocks and shares ISA with the really cost-effective platform called Trading 212, and you will receive a free fractional share worth up to £100 if you sign up using my link in the video description, or simply scan this handy QR code instead and let your wealth building journey begin. And now onto the premium bond draw. I only use premium bonds as my emergency fund kept out of the market on purpose. You just never know when you might need a large sum of money in life, and the last thing you want to do is to interfere with the compounding process by having to sell your shares, especially if you are forced to sell them during a downturn. The prize rate has actually been reduced this April from 3.6% down to 3.3%. There is one draw a month, you have easy access to your money, and there is a chance to win $1 million each month. All winnings are tax-free. Remember, your capital is safe and you are effectively just gambling with the interest each month. The first £1 million winner this March was based in Liverpool and held the maximum of £50,000 in bonds. That's the second month in a row that someone from Liverpool has won the jackpot. The second lucky winner was from Norfolk, also with the maximum holding of £50,000. No £1 million for me this month, but I did manage to win 2 prizes totalling £150. The bar on the left shows my expected average winnings so far this year with £50,000 invested, and the bar on the right shows what I've actually won. I'm slightly behind at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see what happens as the year progresses. So the total passive income this month came to £2,310. Oh, and here comes the taxman's claw to take some of my dividends away. How much do I have to pay the claw this time? Fortunately, nearly all my shares which paid dividends this month are safely tucked away inside my stocks and shares ISA, so there is no dividend tax to pay at all on those. My premium bond prizes are also shielded from tax. However, with a £20,000 ISA allowance, there isn't room to keep everything inside. My S&P 500 ETF is outside the ISA, so unfortunately the claw will take some of those dividends away. This month I had to pay the claw a total of £65 in tax. And there he goes, running off with my money. I'm sure he'll be back next month to torment me again. Why don't you subscribe to see that one? Subscribing to the channel is absolutely free. The green bars on this chart show my passive income for the first 3 months of last year, and the blue bars are for this year. All figures are after tax, so you can see what I actually get to keep. This graph shows how my average monthly share dividends have changed over time. All I've really done from 2009 onwards is spend less than I earn and invest the rest. Any dividends received go straight back in as well, and so the snowball grows. At the time of this video, I'm receiving an average of over £1,500 a month in share dividends after tax. I could use this money to pay my bills if I wanted to, but as I still have a full-time job, I can just reinvest the dividends to grow the money tree. The current dividend yield of the FTSE 100 is 3.1% and my own portfolio is lower at 2.7%. However, as I've been investing for so long and companies tend to raise their dividends over time, my yield on the actual money invested is 6.1%. But you may be saying, what is the point of all these dividends if the actual value of my portfolio has collapsed? We have, after all, had a rather stormy year so far, and dividends are only part of the story. There is capital growth as well, which combined make up the total return. So how has the actual value of my portfolio changed after the first 3 months of 2026? Let's take a look. Just a reminder that my complete portfolio consists of around 30 individual stocks as well as 5 exchange-traded funds. At the start of the year, the portfolio stood at 690k, and at the start of April it's increased to 745k. During the good times when the market is rocketing upwards, I actually become fearful and put more money aside in a savings account. When the market falls, as it has been doing recently, I become greedy and put more money in from those savings. This explains why since the start of the year I've put 15k of new money into the platform, mainly from savings. This gives me a net gain in value of nearly £40,000 after the first 3 months of the year. This equates to a percentage gain of 5.7%. These are of course unrealised gains as I haven't actually sold anything to lock in a profit. Before I reveal everything I've been buying this month, here are the companies which will be paying out dividends this April. On the right hand side you can see the payment dates if you own any of these yourself. So what have I been buying in March? Well, I've continued with my purchases of Legal & General. I believe it's a well-run company with a very decent dividend yield. However, I'm not getting too carried away, as large dividend yields are sometimes more likely to be cut, so I'll be scaling in much more cautiously from now on. I've put a bit more into Diageo. It's been having a terrible time over the last couple of years with several profits warnings. But with a new CEO in charge, I'm hoping its fortunes will change. I've also been adding more to Barclays. The banks have been having a difficult time, and I'm using this opportunity to buy cheaper shares while the prices are lower. Now, which 3 UK companies could you own and receive dividends every single month? To find out, click this video here. See you next time, and happy investing.